Why legacy brands struggle to win Gen Z. This is the authorship as aspiration pattern that Coach used to add 2.4 million customers. This is the play that turned a handbag into Gen Z's favorite brand. We'll be looking at the authorship as aspiration pattern, the cross-industry proof. We'll be looking at Lego ideas, Lay's do us a flavor, Starbucks, my Starbucks idea, and also the 90-day forecast on whether Coach's archive becomes a next lane every heritage brand copies or stays theirs alone. This is the authorship as aspiration pattern. I'm Matt from Strategy Signal. Let's dive in. So what is it exactly? It's a brand that stops telling people who to become instead of hands them raw material. In other words, a brand that's not only telling people who to become, but they're actually handing this raw material to build out their own identity with. So prestige stops coming from distance and starts coming from participation within the brand. The audience does the identity work, the brand supplies the parts. So what did Coach do? Well, first off, while Michael Kors ran roughly 280 ads pushing semi-annual sale extra 40% off, Coach ran about 48 ads, much like the one that you see right here, that handed a microphone to a NASCAR driver, a WNBA rookie, and Charlie XCX, and let them talk in first person. It paired that with Explore Your Story, a $95 line of tiny readable book charms made with Penguin Random House that sold out fast, then launched And Coach, a permanent editorial operation staffed with Gen Z creative directors. 2.4 million new customers in one quarter, over a third Gen Z. Revenue increased up to 29% in constant currency, and Tapestry raised guidance to 7.95 billion. So we're going to actually look at one of these ads, as we normally do here, to look at the strategy and the high-level pattern. First off, the creative angle. The film doesn't sell the bag as a status object. It sells reading as an act of self-transformation and lets the tabby ride along as a companion and not the point. The copywriting move here that I want you to see is there's almost no product language anywhere in the spot. The only line that does any selling is the setup. When you read something powerful and everything shifts, right? Everything else is visual. A book opens, the world around her rearranges itself around her own transformation. Three things to watch out for. Number one, there's the absence of a pitch. The caption copy talks about story and courage, but never talks about the bag. Our stories give us the courage to imagine new possibilities, it says, right? The book charm reveals. It's a miniature readable book clipped to open the tabby, matching the exact title she's reading in that scene, so the product plays as a footnote to her story instead of the main headline. And number three, the transformation cut. Each vignette turns on one beat. The room shifts around her. The moment she opens a book, that stages the story as a thing that changes her, with the brand just supplying the object that it carries. So we're going to watch this and react.
Chapter 3. She entered the library with no particular purpose, unless you count avoiding things. Which she absolutely did not. A story with opinions had intercepted her. Something shifted.
New perspectives, right? Here's the transformation.
The room, eager to stay relevant.
Reading the book transforms the hero or heroine. And the bag is just an accessory.
She took the same elevator every day, same floor, same routine. But today, she remained.
Explosions, firework,
her new path had
descending
arrived.
Onto a new journey.
Via elevator or by book.
Elevator's in the middle of this place. Spontaneous regeneration.
Teamwork she had mastered. Connection,
and
however,
as she's turning the pages, she's actually influencing the people around her.
But turns out, community moves you. Quite literally.
You're building community. It's a holistic approach to the human being. The book is just a partner in the journey.
Chapter 4.
Our stories give us courage. Wear your tabby with the story worth sharing. Coach, explore your story. So Gen Z really responded well with this. You can watch for the single cut where the book opens and her surroundings transform. That's the whole authorship as aspiration move in miniature. The story reshapes the world, and the brand just hands her the object that is carrying that reshape. It's brilliant copy. Let's talk about why this pattern works right now. So there's 3 reasons. Number 1, synthetic fatigue. AI now produces infinite polished brand content for nearly nothing. So polish stopped being proof of effort, which used to be the conditions before AI. Now, messy, verifiable participation is the rare thing right now. Second reason why this worked is a generational shift in aspiration. Gen Z wants to shape identity, not just receive it. Nelson IQ research points to participation over passive consumption as a defining trait. And number 3, better economics than they look. Coach's community reportedly generating 450,000 pieces of user content. You can't buy that kind of outcome. You can only earn it. I think that this window is open right now. So it closes when the first heritage competitor stands up on its own already on the creator platform. Where else does this pattern work? Well, it's also worked in Lego toys, also known as Lego ideas. Same pattern. Fans design sets, community votes, and winning designs go into production with a royalty to the creator. Dozens of official sets have shipped from fan submissions. Number 2, Lay's Do Us a Favor. This is in the snack industry. Consumers submitted and voted on new chip flavors. The 2014 run polled over 14 million submissions, and the PepsiCo ran it multiple times because it worked multiple times. And number 3, Starbucks My Starbucks Idea Coffee launched in 2008. It collected more than 150,000 ideas and shipped hundreds of them, including cake pops and mobile play. This is the same pattern, aspiration, right? Different industries and consistent results. Okay, so there's 4 questions you should be asking yourself if you should run this on your own brand or your own client. Number 1, does the product plausibly carry identity? A handbag already signals who you are. A commodity usually doesn't. Number 2, has the brand earned enough trust to be invited into someone else's identity? Coach spent multiple quarters rebuilding relevance before and Coach launched. And you notice that copy as well, and Coach. It's not like it's all about Coach. It's really about you in your story, and then Coach is there as a partner. Number 3, is the participation curated or open chaos? Named collaborators define products build equity, a public prompt and a prayer build as a cautionary tale. And number 4, can the client measure past the click? This pattern plays out in awareness and consideration before it pays out in immediate conversion. One red flag to look out for, though, handing over the pen without handing over any structure. That's how a naming contest turns into a moderation crisis. How do you implement this? The authorship as aspiration pattern. You want to audit your archive. List the products and names and symbols that you already have enough to carry some meaning. Number 2, pick named collaborators, not an open call. Just try to curate 3 to 5 voices who already fit the brand. Number 3, give them first person, not brand copy. Let their captions read like their own insights. Number 4, build one culturally legible physical product. Tie it to the real behavior your audience already has. And number 5, stand up and always on channel, not a seasonal campaign. Staff it with people from the audience you're courting. One insight here is, within the strategy signal is that Coach really didn't hand a Generation Z product. It handed them a canon, a whole search interest in ad and Coach, and co-creation just stayed flat. While interest in Coach's archive climbed, the Rogue, Chelsea, the Ergo, the one ambassador spike alone, driving a 200% jump for a specific bag, people weren't searching to co-author with Coach. They were hunting Coach's parts to author them with their own. Nike and Air Jordan showed this signal first. Nike didn't formally co-create with sneakerheads. It released a deep retro archive and let resale and custom styling carry the meaning. The gray market wasn't cannibalizing the brand. It was actually the proof the brand had become a canon. The platform isn't actually what is always working either. The remixable canon underneath is what worked. So where does this pattern go next for the authorship as aspiration? First off, the read. This pattern is growing. It's not peaking, but it is growing from the other stats that I was showing earlier. You can see a peak within the campaign here, and you can see actually it begins to increase, not decrease. And so the campaign moment likely peaked in February, but the brand level behavior still has more to go underway. So Coach keeps turning attention into product demand and likely owns this lane alone for the next 6 to 12 months. I'd say probably 65% confidence. The bigger risk isn't a competitor copying the platform. It's the same machine that makes Coach culturally legible, giving resellers and counterfeiters a repeatable way to strip mine the brand. Michael Kors is still running roughly 280 ads pushing discounts. Marc Jacobs went the opposite direction into scripted microdrama. Neither is handing over the pen. So what to watch out for? Watch out for a Gap or Ralph Lauren spike driven by its own archive with no co-creation platform attached within 90 days, clustered over saturation or quality complaints inside Coach's fan communities. Also watch out for elevated search interest for Coach's archive falling back towards its own baseline. The window does seem to be open right now. I'd say probably 6 to 12 months. Heritage brands with deep catalogs, apparel, footwear, home goods move first. Categories without a legible history follow later, if at all. What I would start this week is just audit your own archive for 3 or 4 objects or names with enough history to be worth remixing before you build anything else. Hey, this is Matt from the Strategy Signal over at Vibe. Everyone reads the same campaigns. Nobody forecasts where they're going next. The next brand to run the authorship aspiration pattern will do it in the next 6 to 12 months. Subscribe to know which one before your client competitors do. Thank you. Take care. Bye for now.